Hello everyone and welcome to Gears of War Judgment Gameplay Episode 7. Now, it's been a while since I've actually sat down and done a commentary like this with you guys, and it's probably because I just haven't really had the motivation to do it. What I'm going to talk about today is basically OverRun. Now, if you haven't played OverRun, or you've played it once and you didn't enjoy it or something like that, just hear me out, because it is a fantastic game mode and I want to try and persuade you why it is such a good game mode. But yeah, I mean, the reason that I haven't really been making videos in this style, sort of like sitting down and commentating, is I haven't really had anything to talk about. Now, as we know, Judgment, it's not the best. I mean, it's a good game, and it's a good game, yeah, but the content that we've had with it just hasn't been up to scratch, and to be honest, I don't enjoy the regular game modes at all. I mean, Domination, TDM, Execution, they're all so boring. Master at Arms really is the only normal game mode that I actually want to play on a regular basis and find enjoyable. And that's not meant to be a serious game mode, it's just for a bit of fun. So when it comes to sort of competitive game modes, and by competitive I mean sort of, getting online and just trying to win like you would, with King of the Hill and things like that in the past Gears. It's just not there for me, apart from OverRun, which I'll get onto. So yeah, I just haven't really had anything that I wanted to talk about with Judgment. The content hasn't been there. There's been nothing really, keeping me coming back to Judgment on a regular basis, and I'm just not playing it as much. Which is a shame, because it is a good game, and I just think it's, the amount of content that we have has let it down, as well as the actual game modes we've got as well. So yeah, I do apologise, for not giving you these videos, but I can only do videos when I actually enjoy them, and I still do enjoy putting up, for the Love of Gears episodes. I don't know what, they don't get many views, but they are only like 30-second clips. But yeah, I enjoy putting them up. It's just showing a bit of interesting events that happen on Judgment, and I hope you do continue to enjoy them. But if you don't, let me know and I just won't bother anymore. But yeah, I put them up just for something for you guys to watch, rather than just me sitting here doing nothing at all. But yeah, today what I'm going to talk about is OverRun. Now, OverRun for me is the best thing to come out of Judgment by far. By quite a long way. It's just the strategy involved, the different ways that you can play. It's such a good game mode. There's so much depth to it. It's unbelievable. Take this game for example. On the left-hand side, basically normally I'm the engineer. I'm generally always the workhorse of the team. I just choose the engineer all the time, keep the barriers up, keep those sentries going, and I do mix it up sometimes with the scout, the medic and the soldier, but most of the time I play as the engineer, just doing what I can do to help the team win. So on this left hand side, I was defending it with a scout who was up the top level, and that was all that there was. There was just me and one scout defending that whole side, and we were actually doing really well. We got, we kept all the barriers up, and they couldn't really get through. But then I happened to look over the other side and see that all the barriers are destroyed on the right hand side. So the three teammates on that side hadn't managed to keep the barriers up, and there could have been more locusts coming at them or anything like that. So then I decided to switch to the right hand side, and we tried to keep it open we tried to keep them away for as long as we could. But obviously the locust will eventually be able to get through, because they're designed to do that. It is geared more towards the locust, because it's such a fair game, and you both get a chance to be the cog, you both get a chance to be the locust. And really, if both teams know what they're doing, the generator should be destroyed every single time, and it should always go on based on how quickly you can do it. It just depends on what teammates you get as to whether you can actually do that. But for me, OverRun has to be the most balanced game on Judgment by far. You both get a chance to be the locust, you both get a chance to be the cog, and it's based on how quickly you can do the same thing that your opponents have tried to do. So you know, it's not a case of fighting over a power weapon or something like that, because you all get the same things to battle with. You know, it's a whichever team organizes themselves the best and plays the best and uses the abilities that the characters have the best will win. And that's the beauty of it. It's such a it's a simple game mode in terms of, you know, one team's attacking, one team's defending, you've got 2 lanes. But there's so much depth to the characters and the abilities that you can use that it's fantastic. And to be honest, I bet all of the people who complain about regular multiplayer on Judgment haven't even given OverRun a chance, and that's a real shame. You know, I feel like sometimes I want to say to people, you know, just get your head out of your asses and just give it a try. You know, it isn't. Yes, OverRun isn't, you know, what we've come to know and understand as Gears of War multiplayer, but you know, Horde and Beast, they had massive followings and they were brand new to the franchises in certain you know, Gears games, and you know, you've got things like King of the Hill, which, you know, wasn't in initially, and TDM, which was the most popular game type in Gears 3 that everyone loved to play, and that wasn't in either of the first 2 games. So, you know, you've got to go with something that you got to try some new things, and you know, just have a go with OverRun. You know, I feel like people probably played 1 or 2 games, thought, oh my god, this is crap, this isn't anything like what I'm used to, I'm not even going to give it a chance, and then went back to regular multiplayer and started complaining about everything on there. Whereas if, you know, you'd given OverRun 5 or 6 games and actually tried to learn about it and understand, then, you know, you might actually find that it's enjoyable, because it is a fantastic game mode. But I think the problem is people don't want to learn. People just don't want to. People want to be good at the game straight away, and because they're not immediately good at OverRun, which, you know, you shouldn't be. It's a new game mode. You know, were you good at Gears of War in the first place? You know, when you first tried it, probably not. You were probably garbage. So, you know, you've got to learn a bit about OverRun before you can actually become good at it, and I think people just don't want to do that. I see a lot of people actually playing OverRun who play, you know, all they do is play with a Grenadier on the Locust. They play like it was Versus, you know, they try to wall bounce everywhere and they try to just rush in with a Gnasher and cross with a Lancer and things like that. And their teams always lose because they're just not doing what they need to be doing for OverRun. It's kind of, you know, it's the same sort of thing as how people used to play when it came to King of the Hill on Gears 3. You know, you'd get TDM players who would run around and go kill everyone all over the place. They'd come out with massive kill-death ratios, but they'd lose because they're not focusing on the objective. You know, in King of the Hill, I honestly didn't care how many deaths I got, as long as I was, you know, always on the hill, always doing what I needed to be doing to help the team to win. And I feel like people have done the same thing with OverRun, tried to play like they would with normal versus modes on TDM or something, failed, and just thought the game mode was rubbish because they don't want to put in the time to learn the game that, you know, it deserves. And it's a shame because it is a fantastic game mode. It really is. It's the best thing to come out of Judgment for me, and really it's all I ever want to play apart from Master at Arms. So, you know, if you don't play OverRun or you haven't given it much of a chance, really do try and, you know, look at some other videos on YouTube and have a think about giving it a chance, because it's fantastic. It's got so much strategy to it, it's unbelievable. Maybe people just don't want that. Maybe they just want to run and kill everything that they can, you know. Maybe they don't want to have to think about the game and think about what the next move is. But I do. I like that sort of thought process with things, and, you know, having to adapt to as the game goes on and things like that. So OverRun for me is fantastic. But yeah, give it a chance if you haven't already. You know, I mean, there is a big follow. You know, it is, I think, the second most popular game type, OverRun, after TDM. So there is a big following of it. I just think that a lot of people don't give it the chance that it really deserves, and it's a real shame, to be honest. So basically, in this game, we managed to get the win because in OverRun, if you defend the generator at any point, and then get past the same point that your opponent got to, you win on what's called mercy rules, which means you've got further than your opponent, so you automatically win without it coming down to how long it took you. And I also got MVP, which was quite nice, and I get a nice little blind fire with the breach shot at the end as the Rager. But basically I'm going to sort of, OverRun is difficult for me to put on YouTube, mainly because it takes so long for the games to, like, this game was about, I think, 20 minutes long, and I've had to cut out certain sections, just the most boring parts, just to sort of get it within that time limit. But I am going to try and do a bit more of OverRun, and I might try and sort of explain a bit more about it as well, and help you guys to understand how to play, because I would like to see a lot of people play a lot more and enjoy Judgment for the good game that it is, regardless of whether you enjoy versus game modes or not. So that's me done, guys. Let me know if you do play OverRun, and if you enjoy OverRun, or why you haven't really given it that chance if you don't. So let me know, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.